subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss another update from India Forums.
You seen Andaz Apna Apna?
Yeah.
हाँ,
The
so
last
that's a
dialogue
self
उसमें,
pep
हाँ.
talk ना, which Amar has for himself. Amar का आपका so whenever I love something which I do
Okay.
or I've seen
Okay.
of myself, I say Amar को तुम्हारा सलाम है यार.
एक ही जिंदगी है, इतना प्रेशर, इतना बैगेज लेके चलना ठीक नहीं है. आई वांट टू टेक माय कैमरा, 2-3 कैमरा लेके घुस जाता हूँ उनके. लॉट ऑफ पीपल गेट एंग्री विद मी, यू आर कवरिंग अ शॉट. उनका अंदर मैं घुस जाता हूँ.
Well, as I always say, ये अपना किरदार सिर्फ निभाती नहीं बल्कि इन्हें जीती है. Did you just say the game changer and the leading lady in B-Town? But I heard Yami Gautam. Along with her, we have Aniruddha, who was critically acclaimed for his wonderful masterpiece Pink, and now he's back again with another social message. Welcoming Yami Gautam and Aniruddha Roy Chaudhary with me on India Forums today. Hi guys,
Hi,
how are
hi.
you doing?
I'm good.
How sweet. Thank you so much for such a sweet introduction. That's so
I
sweet.
love it always. I have something nice for you and you always appreciate me. Honestly guys, thank you for doing Lost, because for someone like me who initially came into journalism, always loved the crime beat, but कहीं ना कहीं वो डर हमेशा रहता है जो हमने इस ट्रेलर में भी देखा है. So firstly, thank you for doing Lost. Secondly, यामी एक बात बताओ, अगर एक्ट्रेस नहीं होती यामी गौतम तो लॉस्ट करने के बाद क्या क्राइम बीट जर्नलिस्ट होती?
I think हाँ, कुछ फिल्में होती हैं that you imagine, आप जब देखते हैं they leave such an impact on you. आपको लगता है कि हाँ मुझे भी यही करना है, मुझे भी यही बनना है, तो शायद हो सकता है. एंड आई एम फॉर्चुनेट कि मुझे कुछ मेरे करियर में कुछ ऐसी फिल्में हैं जिन्होंने इस तरह का इम्पैक्ट छोड़ा है, जहाँ पर ऑडियंस ने कहा है ये देखने के बाद हमें, चाहे उरी हो यू नो या उस टाइम जो सोशल मैसेज और एक एंटरटेनमेंट का जो एक कॉम्बिनेशन है, एक संगम है, चाहे वो विकी डोनर हो, वो बाला हो, थर्सडे हो, दसवीं हो, सो नाउ ऑफ कोर्स विद लॉस्ट, ये सब आई थिंक इनका जॉनर सिमिलर है बट जो एक्सप्रेशन है बिल्कुल अलग है फ्रॉम वन, यू नो, बिकॉज सब फिल्म मेकर्स अलग हैं. दादा इज so real. He's one of the most honest filmmakers I've worked with, because he is one of the most honest people I've met in my life. There can be anything pretentious and he's so sweet. मुझे पता भी नहीं चला कि शूट खत्म भी हो गया, because उस टाइम जस्ट मेरी शादी हुई थी. थर्सडे थोड़ा सा क्लाइमैक्स बचा था, थर्सडे का जो पूरा क्लाइमैक्स सीन था, दैट आई शॉट राइट आफ्टर माय वेडिंग एंड देन आई हैड टू लीव you know immediately for Kolkata, and I was like, थोड़ा सा आपको लगता है कि आपको थोड़ा जाना पड़ रहा है immediately शादी के बाद, but the way I was taken care by दादा, इंद्रानी दी, his wife, the entire team, और जब मज़ा आता है ना काम करके, उसके बाद जो नींद आती है, that's the best. चाहे आपको 3 घंटे की नींद मिले, थोड़ी ज़्यादा मिलती है, but अगर मिले तो that's you know that's the best feeling.
आपको काम करके मजा आता है और हमें उसका आउटपुट देख के भी उतना ही मजा आता है. सर, आई वांट टू आस्क यू, दिस फिल्म क्लेम्स दैट इट इज बेस्ड ऑन ट्रू इवेंट्स. तो क्या जिनके साथ ये घटना घटी थी उनसे आप मिले, बातचीत हुई, या हाउ वाज द रिसर्च प्रोसेस फॉर लॉस्ट?
There was a journalist and there were a lot of journalists. There was a team who was helping us, but there are a lot of incidents which happened बहुत दिन पहले. So वो सब याद था, we know, and you know stories are there in the atmosphere. You grab it and put it in your oven and cook it. So most of the incidents in most of my films, I will tell you very honestly, even Onudonon, even Antohin Bengali films, everything happened with me and or my very close friends.
Ones, yeah.
So you know what is happening. You know how these characters behave, and it helps us to grow. Even now, the film I did, मालूम है सब. तो मालूम है means I know these characters. If you know these characters, so you create a world with them.
Correct.
And you obviously put some ingredients which also comes from atmosphere.
Correct.
See, a film is, it's life, you know. It's 24 frames of life. If in every second there are 24 frames. वो सच होना चाहिए. Such means at least you should believe those moments. So if in this kind of films everything is there,
Correct.
आप just लेके वहाँ पे डालो, and your writers put it in the right way, you know, weave it properly and give it to you.
Correct.
And then you and your actors collaboratively make this along with your DOP. So अब ये है, ये आपको पास भी है ये स्टोरी, ट्रस्ट मी, यू नो व्हेन यू वॉच द फिल्म विल अंडरस्टैंड, यू आल्सो नो दिस
एक
स्टोरी.
प्रेशर भी आता है ना इसके साथ, जब आप कोई रियल लाइफ स्टोरी को नरेट करते हो तो इसे ज़्यादा ड्रामेटिक नहीं करना है, इसे ज़्यादा फैब्रिकेट नहीं करना है, इस प्रेशर से कैसे डील करते हैं?
So number one, in life, I don't want to. I hate pressure. I do whatever I want. Even I do mistakes. I believe in those mistakes,
Correct.
and I do that.
करेक्ट
एक ही जिंदगी है, इतना प्रेशर, इतना बैगेज लेके चलना ठीक नहीं है.
करेक्ट
Number two, that when we discuss, when there is a collaboration of right minds and artists and technicians, we know, and I don't like ऊपर का सुर का. I mean, my training means my understanding of life was through classical music, which is not very loud and thing. It's very soft and.
जी
So Laikari or Mirsan is very important in our films. So I try to do that in all my films also. Try to do means when I speak to my artists, to my collaborators. So we decide that ये सुर यही रहेगा. See, in life right now we are chatting, we are not shouting, or we are not in slow motion, we are not jumping, and it's not happening. It's a camera and I want to dig. I want to take my camera, 2-3 कैमरा लेके घुस जाता हूँ उनके जिंदगी में.
करेक्ट
So we take very long shots, We finish the film within 31 days. We are supposed to shoot for 40 days. Why? There are long shots, there are long scenes. दो कैमरा लेके we just cover them. A lot of people get angry with me. You're covering a shot. Yes, I covering the minds of my actors.
परफेक्ट
उनका अंदर मैं घुस जाता हूँ.
परफेक्ट
So that's the way one wants to make. So yeah, I don't have any pressure of doing anything. I mean, it's what we want to do that happens.
बिल्कुल
You should be little bit true to your what you want to do. I know what I want to do, so ज़्यादा problem नहीं होता है.
बिल्कुल
And I am very lucky with my producers also. They support.
जी
They didn't give us a target that it should reach this amount
करेक्ट
और इतना पैसा कमाने होगा.
Correct.
कुछ नहीं बोला. एक फिल्म बनाओ. So I'm always lucky with that.
Perfect. Coming to Yami, 2022 was a brilliant year, I must say. A Thursday got rave reviews. 10वीं. So, लोगों में ये narrative है कि Yami is very consciously choosing films, very consciously choosing a script. So, what was your initial reaction when Lost was offered to you?
I was already aware that Tony Da is going to be directing. So एक बहुत natural है कि आप एक होता है ना कि एक expectation है. So when I finished the script and मुझे उस टाइम कोई कुछ भी distraction पसंद नहीं है. There's no phone or anything. I just like reading it and I love reading it. मुझे narration पसंद नहीं है unless somebody really insists कि आप narration ही लीजिए. But I prefer reading and मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी script जो और कई बार बहुत मुश्किल होता है इसे एक्सप्रेस करना कि आपको क्या अच्छा लगा या आप क्या ढूंढते हो. वो आपके गट में होता है, आपकी इंस्टिंक्ट में आपको पता होता है कि ये इससे आप कनेक्ट कर पा रहे हैं या नहीं कर पा रहे हैं.
Definitely.
विधि का कैरेक्टर जितना मुझे आई थिंक बहुत समय नहीं लगा समझने में. इट वॉज वेरी ईजी. ऑफ कोर्स जितना ज़्यादा मैंने पढ़ा या पढ़ते हो किसी स्क्रिप्ट को उतना ज़्यादा आप ऐड करते रहते हो. हर बार जब आप वो सेम पेज पढ़ोगे ना आपको हर दिन कुछ नया समझ में आएगा, कोई नई चीज़ ऐड करोगे आप. हमें लगता है कि अच्छा एक बार पढ़ लिया, 2 बार पढ़ लिया, आ गया, आ तो गया. बट देन हाउ डू यू मेक अ कैरेक्टर, हाउ डू यू डेवलप बाय रीडिंग, बाय डिस्कसिंग विद योर डायरेक्टर दैट ये तो आपकी समझ में आया, उनका पर्सपेक्टिव क्या है. सो it was a combination of a lot of things after I read the script. I loved the script. मुझे लगा बहुत ही ये कैसी फिल्म है जो बिल्कुल बननी चाहिए. ये भी एक इन्वेस्टिगेटिव ड्रामा है but it's different because it's an emotional thriller as Dada says. It's not just about एक कोई हम murder mystery solve कर रहे हैं या कोई उस तरह का कोई crime drama है looking for someone है, कुछ ढूंढ रहे हैं, but there's a lot more than that. What you're watching in the trailer. So and of course I'd watched Pink and I'm aware of Dada's filmography. मुझे भी as an actor ऐसे डायरेक्टर्स के साथ काम करना है जो जिनसे मैं सीख सकूं, जिनसे मैं ग्रो कर सकूं, जिनसे मैं अगली अपनी जो at the end of the day it's all about आप अपना पर्सपेक्टिव कैसे ग्रो कर रहे हैं. आप वही पकड़ के नहीं बैठ सकते. अब मैं सोचूं कि अच्छा 10वीं बहुत अच्छी थी या बाला या उरी या थर्सडे, बट आई कांट होल्ड टू इट. इट्स डन. बहुत अच्छा लगा, सबने इतना प्यार दिया, इतनी इज्जत दी, बट आई हैव टू मूव ऑन नाउ.
Correct.
लॉस्ट आज अब लॉस्ट रिलीज हो गया, देन आई हैव टू अगेन मूव ऑन. विल बी तो you can't hold on to things. You have
Correct.
to do them and then let go and then make way for the next. But the story of Lost really kept me. I think it kept me thinking. I remember that night also I was thinking. And after talking to Dada, तो I was 100%. I was like, film तो मुझे करनी है और दादा के साथ ही करनी है कैसे भी.
Knowing Yami for some time now, I know that वो अपना क्रेडिट जितना खुद नहीं लेती उतना अपने को स्टार्स को भी उतना क्रेडिट देती है. We had a conversation on Thursday also about the same. इसमें भी काफ़ी सारे ब्रिलियंट एक्टर्स हैं, बट आवर फेवरेट वेटरन एक्टर पंकज कपूर सर हु कॉट आवर अटेंशन सर. तो पंकज सर के किरदार के लिए यू नो हाउ वाज योर एक्सपीरियंस वर्किंग विद हिम? आई वांट टू नो फ्रॉम बोथ ऑफ यू.
It's not awesome, it's awesome. It's, see,
खूब भालो.
খুব ভালো শুধু না, it's enriching. Sometimes it's brilliant, sometimes it's perfect, sometimes it's enriching. It's not about the work. You work with somebody and you learn life. That's the most important thing. I am talking to somebody for some work, but you're learning, you're going away with some learnings.
करेक्ट.
That's enriching life.
Correct.
That is also a very important process. That otherwise हम लोग क्यों exist करेंगे? सब सिर्फ transactional होगा. So that was in one word, it was a very enriching experience.
यामी.
इसमें एक सीन है फिल्म में जब आप देखेंगे जहाँ पर course I can't give out much,
Yeah,
but there's a scene where he's threatening someone. Pankaj ji, ठीक है? It's a very simple scene, but the way he does it without raising his voice.
Wow.
Of course, you know which scene I'm talking
Yeah.
about. It is. मैंने तो पढ़ी हुई है स्क्रिप्ट, मुझे तो पता है. But despite that, it got me. Like I felt जैसे आपने I don't know अगर उनकी फिल्म धर्म एक उनकी फिल्म थी, वो देखी है आपने? ज़रूर देखिए. YouTube पे है अभी तो. I don't know on what platform. तो बहुत ही he's one of those few actors who can just it's all in the eyes.
Yeah.
It's all in the control of your speech. वो एक कुछ एक्टर्स होते हैं जो हर फंक्शन सब कुछ उनको वो कंट्रोल उनके हाथ में है. कितनी आपको आई मूवमेंट करनी है, कैसी स्पीच बोलनी है, आवाज़ का कितना वॉल्यूम होना चाहिए. इट्स ऑल अंडर कंट्रोल. That is Pankaj sir. He's in full control of his emotions, his everything. So and I got to watch it live. So I think
Now that we're talking about Sir, एक बहुत ही प्यारा डायलॉग है इस फिल्म में. Being brave is always the right option, but not always the safer one. And he's your on-screen Nanu, who's your guiding force, right? Coming on a lighter note, having grandparents in your life and being the guiding force to your life, how important it is. I mean, through Lost, which is already such a deep film, उसमें आप ये चीज़ भी दिखा रहे हो. So it's very important. तो personally आपकी life में having grandparents plays such an important role. What about that?
I didn't get my grandparents. You know, my father's parents were no more when I was born. Only I got for some years my Didun, I call my mom's mother. It's something I can't express. It's heaven. I don't know whether it's heavenly or more than that. The kind of love, the kind of affection, and the kind of values they put in your mind, body and soul. Usi time to I mean, I couldn't understand these things, but now I realize how deep it was. I have seen my daughter growing up with Indrani is my wife's mother. Like solid. Like solid means it's something you can't express. This is the most important thing.
Correct.
People like me who didn't get much of them, they're unlucky.
Yami.
I don't know how to make it lighter. I've lost my grandparents and I lost my nani just last year, and I was just recently in Himachal for a 1-year death anniversary जिसे हम बरसी कहते हैं. तो बहुत ही एक बहुत डिफिकल्ट माहौल होता है क्योंकि सारी इट्स ऑल मेमोरीज, इट्स ऑल इन द मेमोरीज. एंड मेरे लिए जो रिलेशन जैसे इसमें नॉट ट्राइंग टू जस्ट प्लग इन लॉस, बट जैसे नानू का है तो वैसे ही जो मेरी नानी थी ऐसे ही था. हम साथ में ट्रैवल करते थे. तो मेरे करियर के शुरुआत में स्पेशली उन्होंने बहुत साथ दिया है मेरा, अदरवाइज तो थ्रू आउट ही दिया है. शी वॉज माई बिगेस्ट चीयर लीडर और मेरे साथ ट्रैवल करती थी. तो बैंगलोर, हैदराबाद, केरला, बॉम्बे सब और उन्होंने सारे बोर्डिंग पासेस अपने रखे हुए थे सबको कि मुझे यामी ऐसे लेकर गई है साथ में, मेरे साथ रहती थी. सो पेशेंट, कोई फंसी नहीं, क्योंकि हर आप अलग जगह जाते हैं, अलग खाना होता है. जस्ट टू एन्जॉय एवरीथिंग. हम बातें भी करते थे. यू नो, हर ऑब्जर्विंग स्किल्स वो ग्रेट, बिकॉज जो लोग कम बात करते हैं या सेट पे होते हैं, अब ऑब्जर्व ज़्यादा करते हैं. तो कुछ बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बातें मुझे कभी कभी बताती थी. हम मंदिर साथ में जाते थे, ढूंढते थे, नानी आज ये बैंगलोर का ये फेमस, बड़े मम्मी आज टू कॉल ये मंदिर, यहाँ चलते हैं. तो बहुत मज़ा किया है उनको. मतलब शी वाज रियली ब्रॉड माइंडेड. अगर फैमिली में किसी को वो होता है लव मैरिज या इंटरकास्ट मैरिज, सब उनके पास जाते थे, बिकॉज दे न्यू दैट शी इज head of the family and she's someone who be like क्या फर्क पड़ता है,
she'll take care
of course 100% कि ये सब बातों में नहीं विश्वास करना. और usually I'm sure way back then इस इंडस्ट्री में हर कोई comfortable नहीं हो सकता that you know आपके बच्चे या कोई भी whoever you're protective about, you're okay sending them to that place, but she was like so proud of me. हर एक न्यूज़पेपर क्लिपिंग उन्होंने मेरी रखी होती थी. सबको फ़ोन करना फिल्म रिलीज से पहले, सब रिलेटिव्स को कि यामी की फिल्म आ रही है. हिमाचल में इतने थिएटर्स तो नहीं है, बट कैसे भी करके वहाँ पर है, या चंडीगढ़ आके देखो. सो it's very surreal for me.
Coming back to Lost, there's this statistic that I read: 62 journalists killed in 2020 just for doing their job, and it was stated by UNESCO. So, what do you think this movie, in what sense it will impact the audience's perception of crime reporting?
Audience should understand that how far they work hard. I mean, how far they go.
Correct.
To write the right stories so that it reach the readers, and the readers get enlightened. They don't know what is happening. How much they work. We also take our journalists for granted. अरे ये तो आके पूछेगा चले जाएगा. How much they have to do. There is a process. When we make a film, there is a process. I know how difficult, hard it is. How hard for an actor to be in a role and to come out, become normal, again get into that role. It's a very, very difficult process. Extremely difficult, both emotionally and physically. So like that, a journalist has got so much of hardship, practicality. It's all addressed in this film.
Correct.
And how she is finding out, then her conviction, then the crisis, then the hurdles. Like us filmmakers, we get hurdles, you know. They also get. People should know this, and we should start respecting each other, you know. That's the most important. See, when we make a film, if one person after Pink started recognizing or respecting a woman who didn't have that kind of these things in their mind, so we are successful. So the same thing will happen here.
Correct. Lastly, I like to ask you this question, as you being a reporter and you being the editor. So you're writing a story about a political candidate, and you come across the evidence that the candidate has engaged in an illegal activity. So the candidate's campaign team offers you to give an exclusive access in exchange of not publishing the story. What would you do as a reporter, and what would you suggest her as an editor?
So they have shared something with her.
Okay, so he has indulged in an illegal activity. Okay, she has already covered a story about doing an illegal stuff. But उन्होंने कहा है कि हम आपको इस कैंडिडेट का एक एक्सक्लूसिव इंटरव्यू देंगे, अच्छा एक्सेस वगैरह देंगे, पर प्लीज वो स्टोरी पब्लिश मत करो. So now what you will do?
See, अगर इतना serious question है, then there are a lot of there'll be further so many questions, and वही वाली बात हो जाती है, सच क्या है and सही करना. On the face of it sounds like yes, I'll still go ahead and publish the story.
Correct.
But if there's anything more than that, which is what a job of a good journalist would be, to find that out before you are putting out something so grave, you know.
बिल्कुल.
एक responsibility तो है ही उनकी, पर उसके साथ हमेशा एक हमें सिखाया जाता था हिस्ट्री और सिविक्स में कि एक responsibility भी साथ में आती है. Duty and you're right, they both go hand in hand. तो वो आई थिंक दोनों ही पहलू देखना बहुत जरूरी है.
Perfect.
You said, I mean, you're absolutely on the dot. She just repeated a friend of mine who was an editor and was one of the finest person I have ever met, and she is a friend. and he's extremely competent. He told the same thing. I know this has happened, but as a journalist, I have some responsibility.
Yeah.
Should I do that? The same thing he told
Yeah?
me. The
Wow.
same thing. It's
अमर को
On point.
अमर को मेरा सलाम
Amar ko aapka salam.
अमर को मेरा
Same thing. Whether I should do this and do a bigger harm.
Perfect.
So that's the gut.
That's-
that's the
that's
responsibility
what
of a journalist.
I hope Lost will make me think of joining Crime Beat further in
I was just gonna say, I think you would
Ah.
have made a very good crime beat journalist because you learn the technicalities, you learn
Hmm.
other things, but the fact that you're so inquisitive and the fact that you're so, I think it gets you excited, which
Yeah.
is very important in a job. It should keep you excited.
Yeah.
You know, you should be happy doing what you do. And just to decode what is Amar ko aapka salam hai. You seen Andaz Apna Apna?
Yeah.
Huh?
The
So
last
that's a
dialogue
self
usme,
pep
हाँ.
talk na which
Hmm.
Amar has for himself. Amar ka aapka salam. So whenever I love something which I do
Okay.
or I've seen
Okay.
of myself, I say Amar ko तुम्हारा सलाम है यार.
Thank you guys.
So like that.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much
Lovely
talking
talking
to
to
us.
you.
All the best for Lost, and I'm sure this is going to go crazy on the internet. Well, guys, this was Team Lost for all of us. Do not watch to see Lost on Z5 and pour in all your love for these wonderful guys. Signing off, this is Nikita Bhagwan, India Forums, Mumbai.